Today, I'm going to be talking to you about all 19 volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen. Along with that, I will be briefly covering the 2 short story books. Without further ado, let's go through all 19 volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen. So we are going to start with the prequel that has been made into a movie, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. This is where we meet Yuta. This is a fantastic story. It shows quite a bit about a lot of the different characters that we get to meet throughout the series. We meet Gojo, Nanami, the main players that come along later in the series, besides like Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara are not in it, I should say that. But I really like this one. From a cover perspective, this one has grown on me over time. I actually think it's one of the better looking covers with that red. I think it looks really, really good. I think this one is definitely one you should pick up. It's, I'm not mistaken, like $7, $8 on Amazon. Nothing too crazy. Definitely recommend you guys go ahead and get this one. I'm gonna rate this cover on it a 8 out of 10. We have some amazing covers to go over. I'm sure you guys can see by the thumbnail, but there we have it. Now moving on to number 1, and this is like one of my favorite covers just because of the simplicity. It's Yuji, it's Sukuna popping out of his hand. This is where we are introduced to most of the main characters in the series. Megumi, Nobara, Yuji, the main trio. Obviously Gojo's there as well. Sukuna's there popping out of Yuji's hand. Fantastic. You can find this volume online for $7.49 from Amazon, which is definitely cheaper than like Barnes & Noble. I think I got this one for $9.99 at Barnes & Noble. Definitely recommend picking it up on Amazon. If you want to start the series, I would actually recommend starting at 1, 2, and 3. Do those volumes and then go get 0 if you really want to, because I think volumes 1, 2, and 3 do a really good job of kind of introducing the story and not throwing a whole bunch of stuff at you, whereas 0 kind of assumes that you've read a little bit ahead of time or you've at least watched some of the anime. This cover I'm also going to rate an 8 out of 10. I think it's a very strong cover. It's fantastic. It's very simple. I really like Sukuna's hand like coming down through the background of it. I think it looks really cool. Then we come to volume 2. We have Megumi and he's Shikigami. I really like this one. I think this is definitely a more underwhelming cover, but it's still a like solid cover. I'm gonna rate this one a 7.5. This is definitely one of my like lower rated covers. You're going to be able to find this volume of the manga for $7.68 on Amazon. Again, cheaper than what I bought it for, $9.99 at Barnes & Noble. So there you guys have that. Number 3, I think this is a really cool one. Nobara and her nails. I really like the pink. I really like how it contrasts with like her orange hair. I think it looks really, really, really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this cover like an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's actually a little bit better than the previous 2. You can also find this one for $7.69 on Amazon. So again, cheaper than in store. For the first 3, you can get them on Amazon for about $23, $24, which is not bad at all if you just want to start your collection there. I definitely recommend going that direction. We then move to volume 4, which has our fan favorite Gojo. Absolutely love this one. This is a really cool one. I think it's definitely one of the more underwhelming covers, but for me to say that it's really cool and then just say it's underwhelming, like I know that's probably confusing to you guys. I definitely still like this one. I'm gonna rate it a 7.5, probably the lowest I'm gonna go on some of these. Honestly, the next one might be the lowest, to be honest. If you guys are looking at picking this one up, this one is $9.69, so we're getting closer to that retail price point. I, again, really like this one. This is where the story starts to pick up as well. This is definitely like a good one. It's definitely worth picking up. There's a lot that goes on in this one. This is where we get to meet Mahito. We get to meet Junpei, who's a side character in the story for a little bit. So I would definitely recommend going ahead and picking this one up if you have volumes 1 through 3 or 0 through 3 at this point. This one, probably my least favorite cover, although I love Toto. I think a lot of people love Toto. He's just a funny, silly dude that just absolutely loves scrapping with people. Pretty crazy. And it's him and the idol that he fangirls over. I think her name is Takada, if I'm not mistaken. I really like the hearts. I think it's really funny. I just don't like this cover, like stylistically speaking. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this like a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely not my favorite, but I mean, I think this one's actually really funny if you know the context behind like why it is this way. When looking at the price, this one's $9.29 on Amazon. So again, getting closer to that retail price point, a little bit cheaper. If I'm not mistaken, this is where the Kyoto Sister School Goodwill event arc begins. That's a mouthful. And I think that's a really good arc. We get introduced to some really cool characters and get to see some powers and get to see Yuji, Nobara, Megumi, a whole bunch of other people to go up against some curses. And it's a lot of fun. I really like this one. So I think actually in terms of bang for your buck, I think this is definitely one of the better ones in terms of exactly what you're getting in terms of content. Now 6 is probably the best early on one in terms of content. I really like this one. I think Mahito is a sick protagonist in every sense of the word. Like he's a messed up dude. He also looks cold as hell with all those stitches across him and whatnot. Yeah, this one is also the Kyoto Sister School Goodwill event arc. It's really, really cool. I really like this specific edition of the manga. I'm gonna rate this cover probably an 8.5 out of 10. I think like the transfigured humans below along with Mahito just looks really cool in my opinion. I really like this one for sure. And this one's actually $8.90, which I feel like is a really, really good value value for the amount of different fights and stuff that we get to see in this specific volume. So I definitely recommend picking this one up. Now we move to my favorite cover in probably the entire series, to be honest. I love Choso. This is who's on the cover. Absolutely gold character. Absolutely love this dude. He's really cool. He comes up a bit later in the Shibuya incident arc. He is in this, but not in that big of a role, I should say. I'm gonna rate this cover an easy 10 out of 10 for me. I think the spiky like ponytail things, buns in the back, along with like the mark coming across his face, and he's got like his hair dripping down, and he just looks icy as hell, man. I love this cover. Easy 10 out of 10 for me. You can find this one on Amazon for $8.77. This covers the Origin of Obedience arc, which is a little bit not as good, I would say, as the Kyoto Sister School Goodwill Event arc. So yeah, there you have it, volume 7. Before we get into volume 8, also, if you guys are still watching, please drop a like, comment what you guys want to see next, subscribe, let me know if you guys are liking this stuff. I figured I would go ahead and make this since I have all of them assembled now. I was like, screw it, let's do it. So getting into volume 8, we have Toji Fushiguro on the cover. If you guys don't know, he's going to be a character in season 2. This features the premature death arc, which is a phenomenal arc. It gives us a little bit about Gojo's past. We get to see Geto before he turned evil and whatnot. I absolutely love this volume. I think it's phenomenal. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this cover art a solid, I'm gonna go with a 9. First 9 of the video, 9 out of 10. Love Toji, although we've had a 10 before, I'm realizing now. But love Toji, sick character, and the cover just goes crazy as well. You can find this one on Amazon for $8.99. I would definitely recommend picking this one up, especially if you're kind of wondering what's gonna be happening in season 2 of the anime that comes out on July 6th. Definitely recommend picking this one up. We move on to volume number 9. This is a super sick cover, and it wraps up the premature death arc, or the Gojo's past arc, and here we actually see Geto. That is not Kenjaku, that is Geto, and this kind of shows his, I guess, descent into madness, if you want to call it that. It's a really good volume. I love the cover art. I love the gold and the purple on this. I think it goes crazy. I think it looks really good. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this one a 9 out of 10 for the cover art, and you can go ahead and get this on Amazon for $8.89. I would definitely recommend it. If you pick up 8 and 9 together, I think those are perfect. If you don't want to know anything about season 2, anything about the Shibuya arc besides like the whole thing with Toji that goes down, 8 and 9 are fantastic to get together. I definitely recommend it. Now diving into volume number 10, we have Kokichi Muta, who is Mekumaru's like controller guy on the cover. I don't really love this cover, to be honest. I'm gonna rate it a 7.5 out of 10. I feel like they could have done with some cooler like coloring on Mekumaru or something like that, you know? It just, I don't love it all that much. 7 out of 10. Not the one for me, although in terms of like the actual content of this one, it's absolutely phenomenal. You can get this one on Amazon for $8.39. I think it's definitely worth it. Like, there's a lot that goes down in this specific volume. It's the beginning of the Shibuya incident arc. If you're gonna get the Shibuya incident arc and you want to read it, this is where to start essentially. I would definitely recommend like picking them all up and reading, just so you're not skipping stuff. But absolutely like love this volume. Now we have volume number 11. This is an easy like 9.5 for me. I'm gonna go ahead and rate it a 9. I think that it's really good. I love Nanami, and I think seeing his curse technique like displayed on the cover is unbelievably cool. Him fixing his glasses up, you know, he's got his watch and stuff. Just an icy ass cover. I absolutely love this one. This also shows a bit more of the Shibuya incident arc, so it's really good. I really like it. And you can go ahead and pick this one up on Amazon for $8.99. So you'll notice kind of some of the middle ones are a little bit more expensive, and that's because of the ending of the anime, and they're trying to get people to like buy up to what's been animated at this point. So I would definitely recommend buying, if you have already seen the anime, just go buy 8, 9, 10 and then go from there, you know. I definitely think 11 is worth picking up. There's a lot that goes down in this. Very good volume. In volume 12, we have Mei on the cover. I'm gonna go ahead and place my hand over that so I don't get this video taken down. But we have Mei on the cover. I think this is a good cover. I like seeing like the hair is pretty crazy, and the background with like the drips is kind of crazy. I'm gonna just rate it an 8. It's all right. It's not my favorite. There's a lot that goes down in this specific volume. So again, if you've been picking up the previous ones, definitely chuck it in your shopping cart on Amazon. This one is $9.79, so we're getting back towards that retail price, but still not at the $9.99 price point. Again, I really like this one. I think it's a really good one. If you picked up the previous 4, pick this one up as well. Moving on to number 13, we have Atsuya Kusakabe, who's a special grade sorcerer that we meet in the Shibuya incident arc. Actually, I don't know if he's special grade, but he's a powerful sorcerer, essentially. Really cool cover. I actually like this, especially for a little bit more of a minor character, like not as big of a character. Obviously, is like a Gojo or like, you know, Sukuna or, you know, anyone else like that. Speaking of Sukuna, that's our next cover. Sick cover, by the way, coming up. But I think this is a very, very good cover. I really like it. I'm gonna go 8.5. It's a solid cover. Doesn't do anything too crazy, nothing game changing, you know. It's really good. I like the blood spatter along with, again, I really like the purple. That is kind of consistent throughout this entire series. So again, 8.5, very solid volume. This one's going for $7.59 actually on Amazon, which is a really good deal. So, I mean, if you want to pick up 8 through 13, you're looking at probably $50. Now, this has got to be one of the sickest cover arts in the entire like volume list, not show. I think this Sukuna cover art is an easy 10 out of 10. I think, first of all, like the angle that it's at where we're coming from under him, and you know, he's looking like a crazy dude right there. He just looks unbelievably cool. I think this is a phenomenal cover. Absolutely love it. Easy 10 out of 10 for me. Like, there's some fantastic stuff coming up in terms of covers that I think you guys are really gonna enjoy, but this is a very strong contender for the top cover of the entire like volumes, all of them. And you can pick this one up for $7.98. Again, if you want to pick up 8 through, you know, whatever, then go ahead and do it. I would definitely recommend it if you guys want to know what happens before the anime gets animated. Moving on to volume 15. This is Mahito again. I actually really like this volume. I think it's a really, really cool looking volume. It has, if I'm not mistaken, one of the coldest moments in the series by Yuji, which is absolutely sick. I really, really like this volume. This is a great volume to read. This cover for me is a strong 9 out of 10. The coloring that Gege Akutami does on these covers is phenomenal. It is unbelievably good. If he does do the coloring, it's fantastic. Even if he doesn't, if he just does the line work, it still looks great. I think showing Mahito like he's like becoming transfigured himself like goes kind of crazy, I think, in my opinion. I really like this one. And you can pick this one up on Amazon for $7.49, so still below that mark. Just gonna keep saying it. If you've got the other ones, buy this one for sure. Like, definitely get it. I really like this volume, especially this volume. There's some stuff that goes down with Yuji that's really, really cool to see. Here we have good old Kenjaku in volume 16. I like it. It's good. It's, you know, it doesn't really do that much for me in terms of like coolness, I guess. I don't know. I think the ghetto one was like cooler. Volume, I think 9 it is. I think the ghetto one was cooler, but I really like Kenjaku like as a character. I think he's like crazy and he's a really good antagonist. So, I mean, I'm gonna rate this like an 8 out of 10. Again, none of these are bad. You know, the worst I've rated one is a 7, just because like the Mekumaru one, I really didn't like that one. I think this one's a strong contender for like a good mid-tier one. Definitely like it. I really like the red actually, so it could be one that you display just because it's so eye-popping with the red contrasted with the gold and the rest of his like robe and cloak thing, you know. And you can find this one on Amazon for $7.49. I again think that's a great deal. I'm just gonna speed through the rest of these because we do not need to be talking about how you should keep buying them at this point. Number 17 features Naoya Zenin, which is actually a really cool character that we get to meet, and we get to see a flashback with Toji a little bit. This is a cool volume. I really like this one. I'm gonna rate this cover. It's a strong like 8 out of 10. It's nothing crazy. It doesn't do that much for me. I think Naoya as a character is pretty crazy, but other than that, you know, it's just a fairly like, simple cover. It doesn't break the mold or anything like that, you know, with some of the other crazy covers that we've seen so far. Yeah, an easy 8 out of 10 for me. And you can find this one for $7.99 on Amazon. Volume 18, this one is an easy 10 for me. Look at this. This features Kenji Hikari on the front, and this is just like an absolutely amazing cover. Love this cover. Really, really, really cool. Very, very, very creative. I like that he's flashing the money up here. If you guys know anything about Kenji, you know. You know. So yeah, easy 10 out of 10 for me. Very creative cover. Just looks so sick with the colorways, with his like pink hair. It just goes crazy. I love this one. You can get this one on Amazon for $7.68. So some of these later ones, if you want to start collecting those first, like I definitely recommend doing that. Volume number 19, we have Hiromi Higuruma. He is a, you know, he's a character in the Culling games. He's a very interesting character. I really like this cover. I think it's cool. I don't think it's as cool as it could be, to be honest. I'm gonna give it like an 8.5 out of 10. It's good. It's good for sure. I really do like this one. It's just, I feel like Akutami could do a little bit more, but I definitely understand if he doesn't want to get too crazy and creative with them. Like the Kenji Hikari one, volume 18 went absolutely nuts, like absolutely crazy. Love that cover. This one you can get on Amazon for $7.98. And then a little bonus at the end for you guys. I have Thorny Road at Dawn for you, the Jujutsu Kaisen. These are like novel stories, like they are not manga. And then I also have Summer of Ashes, Autumn of Dust. These are just a little bit more world building that Akutami and some other authors did. I believe it's Ballad Kitugani. Yeah, Ballad Kitugani did both of them. Very good. Definitely recommend picking them up. I think these guys are gonna run you like closer to $11 or $12. They are more of like a light novel type of thing. Again, just expanding on world building that Akutami's done at this point. But I really like these two. Just a little bonus for you guys at the end. That one much faster than I expected it to. Wow, we got through all of that super quickly. Sorry, I'm just trying to get everything ready because I gotta put it back on my windowsill soon. But there we have it, the whole of Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh my goodness, I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. This was a blast to make for you guys. I can do a more like super in-depth one after season 2 comes out, because I really don't want to like put something out there where someone's gonna get spoiled about like X character dying or X character living, you know, like I don't want to spoil that for people. So that's why I kind of just went over this in terms of like artistic style. I also just like, if you want to pick it up, like that, these are my thoughts for like on them. Like I think, you know, what the content is of them and all that type of stuff. But there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a blast to make for you guys. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe, comment. This was not cheap to assemble. These are not rentals. Like, I don't think you can rent manga. Maybe you can. But, you know, this was not cheap to assemble. And, you know, I pretty much did it for this channel. So if you guys want to drop a like, maybe share the video around to some friends or something like that, I would very much appreciate that. There we have it. The whole of Jujutsu Kaisen done. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. I hope this made your day. I hope you had a good day. Hope you're having a better day now that you watched it. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.